Greetings, this is Morning Eggnog. My name is James Font. With me I have Caleb Font.
Good morning, everybody.
And a very special guest, Alex Yoder.
Hello.
To talk about Techtober in November.
we try to stay up on things.
So, Alex, what did you bring for us this wonderful week?
All right, so we're actually going to start back in September with the Apple event.
Gross.
I like apples.
Apples
They taste
are good.
delicious.
Now, I really like the Macintosh apples.
Macintosh apples.
Yeah, Macintosh.
All right, so back in September, Apple released the iPhone XR as a base model and quote-unquote budget smartphone for
At
Go ahead.
$750.
That is totally a budget price.
That is a
Yeah.
budget price. I mean, it's not like, the normal person has $750
Yeah,
to spend on a
just
phone.
go around.
Everybody has that, right?
Well, it
I'm just
depends if you're, if you go with Verizon, then of course you can just do the plan.
Yeah, the plan where you can just be like, hey, I'll pay $500, not $500. I'll pay $150 a month
Yeah,
on a
that's true.
phone,
And then we're going to overcharge you for your data and texting.
along with my car insurance and car payment and car upholstery. What?
And there goes all your wallet. So they also released the XS and the XS Max. The XS retailing at $99.99.
Jeez.
But it's worth it.
Yeah, we'll go with that. And then the XS Max for $1,099. And if you want
It's only $100 more for the Mac.
The funny thing is, that's like a fifth of my car price.
Isn't it great?
yeah, so the XS Max maxes out at $1499.99 if you want 512 gigs of storage. So
The thing is, Caleb, you're a peasant because you own,
I'm a peasant.
because you don't understand that people that have Apple, that's like a hundredth of their car.
A hundredth of. Yeah, I guess that is true.
No, it's not.
For some people.
Remember, Apple how many phones do they sell?
I have no idea. It's a lot.
You're supposed to do research, sir.
I did research, but not that much research.
He doesn't like Apple that much, so he didn't do
know.
that much research into Apple.
Okay. Anyways, continue talking. I'm gonna look up how many the 10 sold.
All right, so the XR I kind of have mixed feelings for because they call it a budget phone, but it's still almost $800 with tax.
So real quick, guess how many iPhone 10s were sold?
Last year, it's in the millions.
I'd say 10 million.
Alex,
12?
52.2 million
Holy
iPhones.
I was off a little bit. Okay, so and then you add $1,000
Yeah,
$1,000.
$99.99 times 52 million.
It's pretty expensive.
Now we know why they're worth $1 trillion.
Yeah, that is true.
It's not like they are the most popular phone company.
Yeah. So on the XR, to save money and cut back, they put a liquid Retina screen.
Problem is, they did a really good job with it.
I know, and it makes me mad.
Because Caleb,
It looks just as good as the 10.
all of the videos that people have been posting about it is you cannot technically see 1080p, true 1080p
Yeah,
in the screen. It doesn't matter because Apple did it again and it looks fine.
yeah. Well, that doesn't surprise me.
Because if you compare it to the Poco phone or any other 1080p screen, the iPhone XR screen still wins. So
And the thing is, the Poco phone is a $200 phone,
$299. I think.
$299. So that's more in Caleb and I's price range.
Yeah. Now we're talking.
That's our peasant phone.
So they did do a really good job at that. I'm still confused as to why it's still $750 because it doesn't have dual cameras and the portrait mode only works on humans.
Well, see, if you take the phone and you flip it over, there's this picture of an apple
With a
that's-
bite out of
with
it.
a bite out of it,
Yeah.
and that usually adds about $500 to the phone.
Literally $500. So really it's a $250 phone for $750. But with the XR they did add a few extra colors versus the standard colors. So you get white, black, blue, yellow, coral, which doesn't look very good, and then the product red.
You don't like the
Which is
pink?
Which is great. Everybody should have a really pretty colored phone, so that way when they put the case on it, you can't tell.
Yes, that's what makes the phone so good.
I know, it's amazing.
All right, and so the iPhone XS is basically the same thing as the iPhone X released last year, and the XS Max is basically the same thing as the 10 last year, except a bigger screen.
It's bigger.
A lot bigger, and the camera sucks. Okay, it's got a tint to it.
It's not horrible.
It's not
It's
pixel
not
quality.
No.
Now, is there any like battery change or anything like that?
What was it? It was like 23% increase. in
Yeah, it's very
battery life.
minimal. The thing is
Well,
that
23% increase is better than
nothing.
It's
Nothing.
true. A lot of battery improvements Apple makes through software though. So their capacity doesn't matter as much as Android because everything's literally done through software.
I will
Whether
say-
it improves or decreases in.
Apple does do a good job with a lot of things. They just, in my opinion, overprice their phones.
that's my-
The same with Samsung. In my opinion, they overprice their
Yeah.
phones a lot because they have a $1,200 phone too.
Yeah, it's way too much money in my opinion for something you're gonna put in your pocket.
Yeah, and
Or
probably
stare at
drop
all
at
day.
least twice in its
Yeah.
life.
Probably.
Yeah. So moving on, they also released the Apple Watch. This is the 4th gen, and it has a bigger screen, and that's pretty much the only difference compared to the 3rd gen. Other than it's waterproof now. So
Is it
Waterproof
actually
fun.
waterproof or is it?
Water
up
resistant?
to like so many meters
No.
for like an hour or something like that. So that was all in September. So moving into October, we had the release of the Google Pixel 3
The
and
much anticipated Google Pixel
3XL.
3.
And if you know anything about tech, you would know that the 3XL has the horrible, horrible, horrible notch.
Okay, I'm an old fart. So what's the notch?
The notch is something that makes loud noise. The notch.
Like James's alarm.
We'll show Caleb the Google Pixel notch.
And James will drop the notch in the podcast.
Yeah. Well, we'll have
That's
pictures.
the notch.
That's the notch.
It's a protruding from the top that normally contains the camera and the speaker.
Yeah, so it's basically a cutout at the top of the
Oh,
screen.
okay. So I see. Oh, that is horrible. Why would you
Isn't
do
that
something
bad?
But
like
the
that?
thing is, there's this one, which is about a football field thick, and then we have the iPhone 10,
See, and in
which
my
is a football field long.
yeah,
So they did it too.
yes, but
No,
they
no, no.
also
Apple did it first,
Apple
which
did
is
it
why
first.
there's probably 20 phones now
Yeah,
that have a notch of some kind.
which I will give Apple credit. Their notch looks way better than the Pixel 3.
Well, yeah, of course, because they had to change it a little bit or be sued. Get their pants
Right.
sued off.
But I think the reason the
That's still
iPhone notch is so wide is because of the face unlock
Yeah.
and all the sensors.
Yeah.
Which I mean, and for beauty mode, I mean, we won't go there.
beauty mode.
But with the Pixel 3, it has the surround sound. What do you call it? Speakers. They're front-facing speakers, at least. So the speakers are really good, really loud.
This is called a teardrop. I'm showing Caleb the OnePlus 6T.
Okay, that actually looks pretty decent, but still, like I would find that kind of obnoxious.
Oh, it would be an
even in just like any phone, because
yeah.
me and my symmetricalness. That's a word. It really is. So
Caleb
just
super
annoy me.
cares about his phone a lot. Like he thinks about it at night.
I do. I dream about my. No, I don't. I really
Are you
don't.
making fun of me?
No.
I'm just kidding.
See, some people care about phones and stuff.
Some people
and-
care about people.
Some people care about people. I care about like instruments, and I'm like drooling over Martins and things like that. So everybody's got their thing.
Yeah, that's true. All right, so what I like about the Pixel lineup is they don't really hold anything back other than the only big difference is battery and notch between the 3 and the 3XL.
The only reason it needs a bigger battery is because the screen uses more power.
True.
In my opinion.
Yes. Yeah,
So it
really
evens
equals
out.
It equals out.
So what he's talking about is explain to Caleb because
I'm sitting over here going blink, blink.
Sorry.
it's okay. No, the Google puts out two phones, a smaller phone and a bigger phone,
Like everybody else.
like everybody else. But instead of holding anything back, like the iPhone 10 and 8, they were different sizes, but one
had dual cameras, one didn't.
So instead of holding features back, it's just a smaller version.
Yeah.
Literally just a smaller version.
So
Cool.
whatever your preference is, you can choose and not miss out on anything, basically.
Exactly, because my wife actually doesn't like her phone a lot because it's too big, and it doesn't fit in her pocket, and she doesn't like that. Where I have the
also
exact same phone.
girl pockets are just dumb,
Yeah,
Yeah.
whoever designed girl pockets needs to be slapped.
and sometimes they're even sewn shut.
Well, why weren't they thinking of big phones when they were designing them?
I don't know.
I'm like now. I was like, make a phone, like make a pair of pants for girls that has a pocket for exactly a phone.
I don't think girls would want an extra cargo pocket.
No. You would take out one of their normal pockets and put in one specifically for a phone, so it would be square.
I don't feel like that. I think they should just do both pockets so they can put it.
But
in
that would
either
just
one.
look. Let's go for a style statement here from the guy who's wearing wacky clothes.
Yes, Caleb, who cares 100% about style.
I care about clothing a lot.
He's anyways, Alex.
All right, one other good feature that Google added to this year's models is it comes with a USB Type-C headphones because there are no such things as headphone jacks.
I have the
anymore.
Google Pixel 2, and I was slightly disappointed, and then I converted my entire life to Bluetooth, so I really don't care anymore.
Yeah, Bluetooth is so nice unless you have to charge your headphones.
That's why I got the Black Web headphones, which I have not. You don't have to charge them very much.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no.
Are they like earbuds or over the ear?
They're earbuds, but they're like sport earbuds. They're only like $20, but they sound pretty good.
Isn't it interesting how they're forcing everybody to go to Bluetooth?
Yeah, we don't really have a choice in this.
No, you don't. You
Unless
really don't
wanna
have a choice.
Have a dongle. Who wants to carry around?
And
a
not
dongle?
everyone has a dongle.
Yeah, so I mean, basically they're eliminating cheap.
What they're going to be doing is they're going to be using the Bluetooth waves to control our minds and turn the frogs gay.
All right.
All right.
No, nobody gets that reference?
No.
Nope.
It's an Alex Jones reference.
And obviously the Google Pixels are all known for the cameras, so they have the
It has
same.
the best camera in the world. Phone camera.
I was gonna say.
No, not the best camera. The best phone
Smartphone
camera.
camera,
Smartphone
yeah.
camera in the world.
And basically they make all their improvements through software, which is awesome because every other phone out there has 2, 3, and even sometimes 4 cameras on the phone. And
Front
the
and
Pixel
back, not
has-
just on the back. That'd be hilarious, though.
Well, the Huawei has 3. The Mate P20 Pro or whatever.
So it has 3 little dots on the back. That's
yeah,
insane.
Nice.
which is crazy. But the camera's very good, so that kind of for me cancels out the notch deal.
And I've heard it feels pretty good in the hand. People who
Yeah, I wouldn't know.
could afford it.
Yeah. Yeah, the prices for this, it's another thing they've done.
It's pretty expensive. It's a $800 if you want the base model. It's a $800 phone or a $1,000 phone, probably after taxes and stuff.
Yeah. So they're not cheap.
But you can get it. It's 128 gig.
Yeah, that's true. And you get unlimited photo storage.
But
That's nice.
I want the Samsung capability of having a 500 and
12 gigabyte.
so a half a terabyte on your phone.
And then you can put a terabyte, or maybe it's 4 terabyte. I think it's 4 terabyte SD card in the phone.
I did not even
And
know
it
that.
Yeah.
can handle it.
Yes, and it can handle
That
it.
is epic.
So that's pretty intense.
I didn't even know they made that.
Yeah.
It's.
I don't
nuts.
want to know how much those cards cost.
Oh, I imagine there are $300 or $400.
Probably.
So the other thing that
Caleb and I are super informed.
Yeah, super informed.
that Google released was the Pixel Slate, which is kind of like the Android version of the iPad for $5.99, and it's running Chrome OS, which would be like what the Chromebooks run, operating systems.
I saw the slate and I went, pass.
I went, pass.
I was actually interested in it until the iPad was released on Tuesday, and now I'm like, oh, yep, doesn't compare.
I think I agree with Silas on this. If it's not running a desktop
Yes,
OS, I don't
amen.
want it.
Yeah.
Because most of them run just the mobile app, so it's like, oh, cool, I have a bigger phone
Yeah, so it's basically
that can't make phone calls.
you might as well get the biggest iPhone
Yeah.
possible.
And it's just like, if I could run desktop, anyways.
Yeah.
I'm being redundant.
No, you're good. So, and then finally, Google released the new Google Home Hub for $149, which is kind of like the Google Home. So it's a smart speaker, but it also has a display on it now.
Yeah, and you can put it anywhere in your house because it doesn't have any cameras, supposedly.
And they specifically touched on you can put it in your bedroom now since it doesn't have a camera.
Except it's still listening.
Well, Caleb, what
Take that
noises
how
are
you
you
want.
making in your bedroom that you don't want Google to hear?
I'm married, so
I fart all
we
the
don't wanna-
time.
we don't want to answer that question.
I fart constantly.
They're really listening into your sleep patterns and stuff,
Yeah.
so that way they know exactly what to sell you.
But Caleb, you can't turn on your garbage disposal from your bedroom if you don't leave it in your bedroom.
What's that sound? Oh, I'm sorry. I think I mumbled something about my garbage exploser.
Explosion?
Wow.
My garbage exploser.
No, but in all seriousness, that For $149, that's a steal because
It is a steal because they also have a 8-inch display for your convenience that's
Right.
crystal clear from you. I don't remember.
yeah, you can stream.
It's great
anything
for
on.
recipes.
But if you go back
That would be nice.
to 2 years ago, the Google Home, the original Google Home, was $149, and this is way better.
And it didn't have a screen. The thing is, when they said that was $149, and then the Slate.
Yeah,
The Slate was like $600.
yeah.
I
don't get it.
It didn't make any sense to
No.
me.
Nope.
It's their version of it's a little laptop.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, I know. I'm tracking. I'm just listening because I really have nothing to add to it except random jokes every now and then.
And that's more than welcome.
The Google Pixel XL has a bigger screen, amazing camera, big battery,
Big battery.
wide selfie camera.
Yeah, that
And
was
co-
added this year.
And comes with the USB Type-C headphones. I will say the other thing is I really liked about the Pixel environment. That's not the word I want.
Environment?
What's the word I want?
Ecosystem?
Ecosystem. Whatever. When you transfer your phone, is it any phone? Because I transferred from a Nexus. You just plug in your phone, you plug in the phones together, and then it transfers everything to the Pixel exactly where you had it.
Yeah, everything's like that now.
I know, but
They were one of the first.
I guess.
And it's just smooth. It's easier if you're going from a Google device to another Google device.
True.
It'll be like the same exact experience, just better if you're upgrading. I'll just touch on the Huawei. This phone's not really coming to the U.S. because of certain opinions by President Trump that Americans are being spied on through the phone, but I think it's all superstitious. But the Huawei Mate P20 Pro for $1,150.
I did not know it was that expensive.
Yeah.
Packs a 40 megapixel camera with a 4,000 milliamp battery, which will last you like 2 days, depending on your usage.
That's crazy.
And it wirelessly
Compared to what? Compared to 4,000 milliamp. What's the iPhone have? Do you know?
Apple doesn't release what it is.
Okay, let's say.
Because they're like that.
Okay, the
compared to,
Google
like,
Pixel
the
3
Galaxy
or the Galaxy.
S9, I think that's like a 3,300 milliamp battery. If that, it might be right at 3,000. So
That's
So
another.
that's lithium, right? So if that sucker exploded,
yeah, look out.
how big would the boom be?
You'd probably have a hole in your pants.
And your leg.
And you'd just be gone. Your leg would be
Yeah.
gone.
But the other thing that's cool about this phone is it gives out a charge. So if you take another phone and put it to the back of it, it will give it power. If it's through wireless charging, it's pretty insane.
That is really cool.
The other phone that he has on the list is the OnePlus 6T at $550. It's a great budget phone, but it's more budget than the iPhone budget than the XR. So it's I guess it's cheaper.
You said XR.
Dang it. Anyways, 10R.
10R.
Anyways, so it's better than that, I guess, but it's still not. We have the Poco phone, and then what's the other $200 phone that I can't remember what it's
I
called.
don't remember what that was called. Unbox Therapy.
I can't remember either. But anyways,
But I have about 2 hours and 20 minutes till I order the OnePlus 6T.
that's
So
exciting.
it's now
So
compatible with
OnePlus
mine.
is a really neat, innovative phone that came out how many years ago?
2014.
2014,
so
and it
4 years
it
ago.
was a budget phone back then. It was like $300,
Yeah, $350.
and that's a pretty decent
Yeah,
price for them.
That's a good budget price.
And it was running a lot of really good specs, and it still is running a lot of good specs. And the problem with it is it was not on Verizon.
Oh,
And so
no.
we couldn't use it because we're on Verizon. And so the newest one, the 6T, just came to Verizon, correct?
Yeah, correct. So I'm going to order that this morning and try it out.
Because
I've
Alex
never-
has been dying with his Note 8 with a cracked screen that he
Uh,
chooses to use. Real quick, Alex, how many iPhones do you have in your house right now?
21. I think 20 or 21.
So you could use one of those, right?
yeah, but that just goes to show how strong-willed I am against
Not
iOS.
using iOS. So that is our Techtober in November.
Yeah.
So thank you, Alex, for joining us.
Thanks for
Have
having
a wonderful day.
Now, let's say in December, we want to do. We have some people maybe interested in what is a good phone for under $300. Now, we could talk about that later at some point, but and like okay, we got 5 phones for $300. These are probably your best purchases.
Are you talking brand new or refurbished? Because that changes the ball game.
That we could do both. We could do.
There we go.
We could do.
Do you want to list off 3 real quick?
For under $300, the iPhone 7 is probably the best deal. As painful as that is to say, you can get the Galaxy S8 and probably the Moto G6 is probably the best. That's probably second in line.
Okay.
It's a decent phone, and that would be new. So.
And real quick, what phones do we have now? What do you have, Caleb?
I have the Moto X 4th gen.
And it's a pretty. Motorola does an okay job. I enjoy their phones.
It's very basic.
It's very basic, and they were the closest.
Which is great for me.
They were closest to stock Android before the
true.
Pixel came out.
Very true.
So, and you have the cracked.
Galaxy S8 Plus.
Again, he
So-
chooses to use it.
Yeah.
And I have the Google Pixel 2 with a cracked screen like no other.
So we're very cheap.
See what I say? Don't buy a super expensive phone that you're gonna drop.
Or throw a tool on like.
Well,
me.
I bought mine cracked, so that's my own fault.
Oh, did you know it was cracked?
Yeah, but I got it for $100. So,
Oh, that makes
And at the time, how much is it worth?
600.
Yeah,
that's worth it. I would say that's worth it.
Alex is. It's his part-time job.
Yeah, it's becoming full time though.
Yeah, he's making
which is
so much gosh
which is
dang
so
money.
cool. It's so awesome when you start something and it becomes full time.
Yeah, I just wish there were more hours in the day.
Buying and selling.
Yeah. So when you switch over, you'll have that, and then it'll disappear again. Like, oh, I got enough time now. I'm full time.
Yeah.
And then it's like,
Right.
oh, well, that disappeared really quickly.
Right.
So he sells. Again, he has 21 phones at his house. How many Google Pixels do you have?
I'm down to 2 right now.
Okay.
So Alex, what is your side business, just so everybody knows?
So it's got the name Custom Edge Tech, and you can find it on Facebook.
That'll be in the description below.
Yep, and we're on Instagram too. Basically, it started through helping friends and family finding cheap phones with buying and selling it. Now it's kind of turned into a whole side gig.
Now he's making $100 million in a year.
In Monopoly money.
7 and probably half of that would.
So he's making $2 a month.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
No, but
So what is it? What is that again? One more time.
Custom Edge Tech, and we do budget smartphones.
All right. Awesome.
All right, everyone, have a lovely day, and thanks for joining us.
See ya.